Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to AP. So last week we built the main structure for our mausoleum, and this week, like I promised, we would be doing all the details. Unfortunately, I ran out of time and was unable to do the stained glass windows this week like I wanted to, which is okay. I kind of want to spotlight that in next week's video, just so I don't miss anything. And so you guys know exactly how to do it yourselves in the cheapest and easiest way possible. So anyways, let's head to the table and I'll show you how I did all the details on this mausoleum. Okay guys, let's start off with painting. What I did was base coated this entire thing in black and then went over it with a gray color. The darker the gray, the better. I'm trying to make this thing look dirty. Once the gray was dry, stipple on some blue and then stipple on some brown. This is going to help give variation, give a little bit of color. Now while that is drying, I grabbed some really thick chipboard so it wouldn't warp, laid out the building, traced around it, and then cut out a natural shape to help pull away from the fact that it's just a square. Then bevel the edges, obviously, so it blends in with the tabletop. And then paint it brown, because dirt is brown. While that was drying, I took the mausoleum outside and gave it a really heavy black wash. And the front of the building was missing something, so I made these little 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch cubes and used some super glue lids, painted the same color as the roof, and hopefully that makes it look better. Used some Agrax Earthshade on everything that was a bronze or a copper color, just to make it look a lot dirtier. Then while that was drying, I super glued on the little pillar thingies, whatever they are. It doesn't matter, they look cool. Now when it came to the gate, I forgot I didn't turn the camera on. This is coffee stir sticks cut in half and then cocktail sticks. And I tried to follow the same pattern as the doorway, which is like a rounded archway. So I stagger stepped the cocktail sticks and then super glued them on, put more coffee stir sticks on top, and then I used some beads that I got from Hobby Lobby that I'm not really sure you'd call it a bead, but it looks like a cool hinge, so that's what I was going to use it for. And it turned out pretty good. I mean, they definitely look like hinges. Then once that was painted silver, it was time to glue it into place and hopefully have better luck than I did, because this was kind of a pain in the butt. I tried to glue it in and it got stuck to my super glue, and it was fun. Now we needed to hide the inside of the building. I just used some cereal box cardboard, painted it black, hot glued it over the open areas. So both sides of windows and also the doorway. Then it was time to glue the building on, now that we had the door in and the backings for our windows and door. So just hot glue, get it as straight as possible. I put mine on the back end of this because I wanted to put a path in front of the doorway, and I needed a little bit of room for that. So now it was time for some PVA glue, a little bit of water, and I went over the entire base and then dumped sand and all kinds of other aggregates all over it to give it a whole lot of texture. Now I did have to do this twice just to make sure that all of the aggregate was on there thick enough and looked the way I wanted it to. Now time for that little pathway that I was talking about. Cereal box cardboard, cut up into tiny squares. Just make it look cool. Now time for the tiny skulls. Now I bought these from Citadel. They are very nice. I don't know if you could call them prints, but that's what I'm gonna call them. They're very nice skull prints. Definitely worth the 25 bucks that I spent on these. I added these skulls in quite a few different locations around this mausoleum. Now while I was waiting for the super glue to dry on the skulls, I wanted to make some tombstones because I thought that would look cool to have some old tombstones just leaning up against the building. And I just used 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch squares of foam core and just cut them up until they looked right. Painted them, obviously, then glued them on with some tacky glue. Now, I needed this to look a little bit older, like people haven't been around it for a while, so I took an old house brush that was clean and cut pieces off of it and just started super gluing them all over the place in random places. Now, the cool thing about paint bristles is they'll soak up the super glue and they become really durable, so you'll never have to worry about them coming off. Alright guys, so that is it for this week. The mausoleum is just so close to being done. Like I said, unfortunately I just didn't have enough time to do the stained glass windows like I wanted to, So that will be in next week's video, so please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. Huge thank you to the Patreon supporters. I have added a few new things to that page, so please go check it out. Make sure you're not missing out on anything. Now, one thing I did forget to mention in these videos, because that's what I do, is I forget things, is that when I was doing the Agrax Earthshade on the roof, I also added it to all of the recessed bricks on the building, and also tried to do like some, what do you call it, like dirt streaks running down the sides of the building and stuff like that. That really helped make this building look a lot dirtier. As for painting the skulls, I just went with a tan color, and I threw a whole bunch of Agrax Earthshade on there, and then gave them a real light dry brushing of that tan again, just to bring out the higher details. Okay guys, I think that's it. I think I covered everything. Let me know what you thought about the video down in the comments. Make sure to hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. Helps out the channel, keeps me going. And I hope to see you guys this time next week for our stained glass windows.